It's 2 a.m., the house is completely quiet, you're deep in sleep, and then, out of nowhere, you hear the thunder of tiny paws absolutely launching across your hardwood floor. Your cat just went from 0 to full chaos in under a second. No warning, no reason, just pure unhinged speed. And you're lying there thinking, what is wrong with my cat? Here's the thing. Nothing is wrong. In fact, what you just witnessed is one of the most fascinating and surprisingly well-explained behaviors in the animal world. Stick around, because by the end of this, you'll never look at your cat's midnight meltdown the same way again. It even has a scientific name. Scientists actually gave this a name, and it's perfect. Frenetic Random Activity Periods, or as the internet far more lovingly calls it, the Zoomies. Someone in a lab coat sat down and officially named the thing your cat does at 3 a.m. when it sounds like a horse is living in your hallway. And the key word there is random, because from the outside, that's exactly what it looks like. Random, sudden, unpredictable. But it's actually none of those things. There are real specific reasons your cat turns into a furry tornado, and once you understand them, it all makes complete sense. Blame the 16-hour nap. Let's start with the most obvious one. Your cat sleeps between 12 and 16 hours a day. 16 hours. That is not a lifestyle. That is a superpower. But here's what happens when you spend 2/3 of your day completely unconscious. Energy builds up, silently, relentlessly. Think about the last time you sat at a desk for 6 hours straight. At some point, your leg starts bouncing, you start fidgeting, maybe you get up and pace around for no reason. That's your body demanding movement. Cats feel the exact same thing, except they handle it by sprinting full speed into a wall and then acting like that was the plan all along. The Zoomies are basically their version of standing up and stretching, just dramatically. The hunter that lives inside your cat. Here's what most people miss. Your cat, even the soft, pampered, treat-obsessed one who sleeps on a heated blanket, is still biologically a predator. Every single instinct in their body is wired for the hunt. Chase, stalk, pounce, kill. The problem is, nothing in your apartment needs to be hunted. The food appears in a bowl. The prey is a crinkle toy that doesn't run away. So all of that predatory energy, all of that ancient hunting drive, has nowhere to go. And then one day, your cat glances out the window, spots a bird, and the switch flips. They can't get to it, but the instinct is already fired up. So they do the next best thing. They tear through your living room at full speed, vault off the couch, skid around the corner, and disappear into the bedroom. They didn't lose their mind. They were hunting. You just couldn't see the prey. Why 5 a.m. specifically? Yes, there's a reason. Now let's talk about the timing, because if you've lived with a cat, you've noticed the Zoomies don't happen at noon. They happen at dawn or dusk, or that specific window of pre-sunrise darkness when you have absolutely no interest in being conscious. That's not a coincidence. Cats are crepuscular animals. That means they are hardwired to be most active at dawn and dusk, not nocturnal, not diurnal, crepuscular. Those are the hours when in the wild their prey is most active and most vulnerable, so their biology peaks exactly at those moments. Your cat isn't trying to ruin your sleep. Their internal clock is just running on a schedule that was set about 10,000 years before alarm clocks existed. Your collateral damage. The Litter Box Zoomies are real and weird and explainable. Okay, we need to talk about this one, because if you've ever watched your cat explode out of the litter box like they just escaped something, you probably had questions. Good news, there's an answer, and it involves a nerve. The vagus nerve runs from your brain all the way down to your colon. When cats have a large bowel movement, it can stimulate that nerve, and that stimulation
it can produce a feeling that ranges somewhere between lightheadedness and actual euphoria. So your cat isn't celebrating. They're not doing a victory lap. Their nervous system just got hit with a wave of weird physiological relief, and their body responded the only way it knows how, by running as fast as possible to absolutely nowhere. You've never felt more grateful to be a human, and that's fair. When the Zoomies are telling you something. Most of the time, Zoomies are completely normal, healthy, even good for your cat. Vets actually point out that those bursts of activity strengthen muscles, boost cardiovascular health, and release endorphins. Your cat is, in their own chaotic way, working out. But, and here's what matters, not every burst of frantic energy is a Zoomie. Sometimes it's a signal. Older cats who suddenly develop intense new episodes of hyperactivity should see a vet. Hyperthyroidism is common in senior cats, and one of its symptoms is a surge in energy levels. If your cat has never done Zoomies before and suddenly can't stop, or if the Zoomies are paired with weight loss, heavy panting, or visible distress, that's worth paying attention to. The Zoomie you want is the one that ends with your cat flopping dramatically on the floor, completely out of breath, looking mildly embarrassed. That's the good kind.
Boredom can fuel it. Sometimes the Zoomies are simple. Your cat is bored. Indoor cats have safe lives, but safe can also mean predictable, and predictable can turn into pent-up energy fast. When there isn't enough climbing, chasing, stalking, or exploring happening during the day, that unused energy can come bursting out in one ridiculous lap around the house. And honestly, this is where cats become tiny athletes trapped in studio apartments. If the hunt doesn't happen in little moments throughout the day, the body still asks for it later. So the Zoomies can be your cat's way of saying, I needed more action, and now we're all dealing with it. Kittens and young cats do it more. Age matters too. Kittens and younger cats usually get the Zoomies more often because they simply have more energy and less self-control. They are still learning their bodies, testing their speed, and discovering that apparently every hallway is a racetrack if you believe in yourself enough. That's why young cats can go from peacefully licking a paw to launching off the sofa like a fuzzy missile. Older cats may still get Zoomies, but younger ones do it like they have a sponsorship deal with Chaos, and that's part of what makes it so funny to watch. What you should actually do during a Zoomie? The honest answer? Not much. You don't need to stop it. You don't need to intervene. In most cases, the best thing you can do is get out of the way and maybe grab your phone. If your cat seems to be inviting you into the chaos, running at you, past you, circling back, you can grab a toy and join in. A wand toy, a crinkle ball, anything that lets them chase and pounce. Channel that energy into actual play and you'll both get something out of it. They burn the energy, you get a genuinely hilarious 5 minutes. What you shouldn't do is try to pick them up or restrain them mid-Zoomie. That's how you end up with scratch marks and a very offended cat. The real takeaway. Here's what's actually beautiful about the Zoomies, if you think about it. In that moment, when your cat is absolutely flying across the room with that wild look in their eyes, they are completely and totally themselves. No performance, no pretense, just pure instinct, pure energy, pure cat. They are simultaneously your cuddly little housemate and a small apex predator running a ghost hunt through your kitchen at 5 a.m. And honestly, that's kind of incredible. So the next time it happens, and it will happen again, probably tonight, don't groan, just watch, because what you're seeing isn't chaos. It's millions of years of evolution showing up in your living room, wearing your cat's face, and absolutely losing it on a Tuesday.